Anyway, with Phil Brooks,
His name is not Phil Brooks, it's CM Punk. How many times do I have to repeat this to you? I'm sick and tired. What the hell's that?
I don't know.
I think somebody's at the door.
Hey, you can't even film stuff without people knocking.
Well, you know, that's the way of the world. Who is it?
But don't start personally insulting me.
Huh?
But don't start personally insulting me.
Hannibal! Oh, no! Not that way! There!
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. At the board is our fill-in producer,
What?
Jeff Rumplick. Jeff,
What's up, Jeff?
first time handling probably the most
wait.
popular pro wrestler show.
Does Jeff speak?
I'm
Jeff,
waiting.
do you
Let's bring your seats to an upright position. Let's
Oh my God!
Let's
Maybe
hold
you
on to
should-
the wine glasses and let's have ourselves a good show, guys.
wine
I see the tray tables up.
Yeah. Now you got the power plant guy advising us. This is bad.
The power plant guy.
I'm serious. He's serious stuff. Next.
We are on the last leg of the Monte The Pharaoh
leg.
marathon, where we have combined the super agent Eric
Okay.
Sims along with your partner Bart Griggs,
Who's on the phone? What is that? I hear other voices.
and then really the
Super Agent, turn your phone
the
off.
most important part of that cast is superstar pro wrestling.
That's right.
Superstar pro wrestling
right.
trainer,
The guru.
overall guru.
That's right. There'd be no
Buddy Lee
Goldberg
Parker.
without this man, Buddy Lee Parker. That's right. And thank you for Goldberg, by the way.
Thank you.
Despite
You're
all the
quite welcome.
bitching that these internet bitches do, thank you for Goldberg.
But
You're
anyway,
quite welcome.
Tim Considine, who played Mike Douglas and Fred McMurray's oldest
What?
son on 5 seasons of the sitcom My Three Sons. You remember My Three Sons,
Of course,
right?
Fred McMurray.
He died today at 81 years old.
Which son died?
The oldest?
How much of a part did he have? I don't even remember.
You don't remember My Three Sons?
I remember my 3 sons,
He
but
had 3 sons.
I'm
right?
having
You
a
had
hard
the
time
youngest, the
remembering.
middle, and the oldest.
There was Ernie and
He's the
Chip
oldest.
and
Mike.
I don't remember Mike too well. Why do I not remember Mike too well?
Because you've been drinking
He
too
must
much
have.
wine.
No, it's not because I've been drinking too much wine. He was probably the neutral character. I remember Chip and Uncle and Bob.
But you forget Mike.
I forgot Mike. Yeah. Maybe Mike
there you
was
go.
Jan. How the fuck do I know? Next. Go ahead. What else you got? What other ridiculous
Anyone
news?
to know it? That is the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow.
3
Jimmy,
bottles in. What's up, folks?
3
This
bottles
is
in,
Monty.
and we've had 3 interviews
Yeah.
with
Yes.
pro wrestlers interview Jimmy Farrow. That's what we got.
Is that what this
A full day of pro wrestlers interviewing
the
Jimmy.
fans
Buddy
love
Lee,
it.
guess what you got to do? You get to interview Jimmy
He
Farrow.
does-
for an hour.
Okay.
He does.
Let's go for
You
it.
see how he's all for it? You see that? You see that?
He
and
doesn't
look at all
know
the
any better.
positive comments. You know?
I'd like to thank the
unbelievable.
band that sings the theme song for Monte The Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner.
What? He's on the couch. His name is Bartman.
Make the band Wisteria
go.
Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind. Here
Jeff,
Comes
get
the
a
Rain.
shot of the couch, will you?
You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page.
notice I'm
Please
in the
hit the
center
like
of
and
the
subscribe.
couch.
Yeah.
camera's
There's something-
Spotify, Apple Music, and Reverb Nation.
That's
If
where
you didn't
we
know
are.
it, you are watching Long
Subscribe and
Island's
tune in.
#1 pro wrestler
Yeah.
broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Catch us on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page.
There they are.
The Monte The
There
Pharaoh
they are.
Facebook Live page of Monte The Pharaoh. Oh, well, hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify,
right.
Anchor.
That's right.
Catch us on the Monte The Pharaoh Twitch TV page. And if you're lucky enough to live in New York, catch us on 115 where 80 83,000 people watch us daily.
83,000.
At Tuesday at 9:30 or Saturday at 11:30 against Saturday Night Live. We'll have the reduced version of Buddy Lee Parker.
It's condensed and abbreviated. Continue.
And Channel 20 Tuesday at 1 a.m. I don't want to diss my...
All the work we put in. It's reduced.
And we want to thank Amazon Music for putting on the Monte The Pharaoh show.
Yeah.
What did you think about the 3 interviews? You had
Fan-
Outback Jack, Kevin
Fantastic.
Sullivan,
Fantastic.
and then Max Payne.
Honestly, it exceeded my alcoholic expectations. But maybe it's because I've hit the alcohol.
Max had a lot of great stories.
Max was awesome.
It would have been
Outback
nice
Jack
if
was
we could have
awesome.
heard him.
What do you mean heard him? Why? What happened?
Well,
What's
we're
up?
listening to your life story.
Which is Dad. What happened? You know, you're embellishing
Wait
right
till you
now.
watch
You
it.
drunken bastard.
Wait till you
you're
watch
embellishing.
it. That guy was about to tell us how he hated Shawn Michaels, how he hated this, this.
Yeah, but
and
don't
this.
you
But
see
then
what
we
I
had to hear
did?
about you.
Don't you see what I did? We got lots of golden nuggets, and now there's going to be a part 2. We left the audience wanting more. That's what Vince does. That's what Monte and the Pharaoh do. Quit bitching and move on.
We'll be right back with
This guy.
lead
I love
guitarist for Wisteria Hall.
Oh, there you go. There you
Super
go.
agent
A
Eric
regular Bob
Sims.
Dylan. A regular super agent. Absolutely.
And the man that makes
Please.
superstars.
Please. The
A superstar in
prototype.
himself, by the way.
The prototype for what they do in NXT when they give all this credit to the trainers, the prototype is sitting
Catch
right
us
here.
soon as Buddy Lee Parker interviews Jimmy Farrow. We'll be right back after this interview.
See you in a second. But enough about me. Why don't you girls talk about me for a while? Later.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, where we're welcoming a trio of Bart Griggs from the famous band Wisteria Hall, super agent Eric Sims, and the icon Buddy Lee Parker. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, Buddy, how was the signing in New York? When's the last time you've been in New York?
Well, I guess I was still wrestling then, so yeah, it's been a minute. So, but it went good, and we had a training session the night before. We had how many people? About 15 people. Really excited to get excited again about wrestling. They were straightforward. They wanted to learn. They were humble. They were everything you want in a student. So, we had an 18-year-old girl there, and she had more fire than the guys did. The first thing I told her, I'm glad she's not my daughter, because I'd be killing somebody. So, yeah, they really stepped to the plate. Everything I showed them, it got me excited about wrestling again. And this whole thing to New York and everything has been great. I wish there had been more people there, because I really got excited. I started taking bumps in the ring and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
How does it feel that all these fans, after all these years, love and adore you, and they want to be part of your life?
Well, I don't know. If they went through the power plant, they didn't adore me at all. I've been cussed out so many times I can't tell you, but it's cool. I'm just glad I was able to make an imprint on the wrestling business. I was glad that the guys I trained got the shot that they got to get to the wrestling business,
Right.
And that's what a trainer you really want to see. You want to see them succeed in what they do. So, and if you talk to me on the damn phone, by the way, And I told you absolutely everything we're going to do at the power plant, and you showed up not in shape. That was your fucking fault, not mine. Even Bret Hart blames me for him getting concussion syndrome from Bill Goldberg getting kicked in the ring. And I'm like, you're from the dungeon, man. You got a 289-pound guy getting the biggest push that anybody ever got, even over top of Hulk Hogan. And you don't know you get your hand up? Shit, that's your fault.
So I never heard that. He's actually blaming you for
said
the end
I
of his
didn't
career.
put enough emphasis on protecting your partner. Dude, I mean, come on, really.
Do you get pissed when you hear the thing said about Bill Goldberg, the wrestler? You were his trainer.
Yeah.
Do you get pissed about that? Like, is Bill Goldberg a bad or an unsafe in-ring opponent, in your opinion?
Absolutely not.
All right.
I mean, I was the one that came up with the jackhammer.
Nice.
And a lot of his moves, and his input and his stuff with martial arts and stuff really come in handy that made him different. And the way they gave him his ring entrance and stuff, that was different. That's never been done before.
Right. Is it a myth that Bill Goldberg doesn't love this business because we hear
No, he
this
loves the business, man.
Okay.
I had probably 30 dark matches with him before you ever saw him on TV with what is his name? Bill DeMont.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So-
Hugh Morris. if
And
you
I had
will.
him doing shit that I knew he would never do. Because you got Eric Bischoff looking at the monitor, and he's thinking about how much money do I want to put into this guy? And sometimes, yes, the fans, y'all are great. But I got to tell you the truth. If you're trying to sell somebody to a person that's going to make a decision where a guy gets a push or not, you don't think about the fans. I mean, you really trying to produce something on TV that makes them excited and want to put money into that person and make them who they are. So fans, y'all are very important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're not. And I appreciate everything over the years, any support you may ever gave me. But, yeah, I mean, true. You got to sell it to Eric Bischoff. You got to sell it to him. And I had him doing shit I knew he would never do. He'd back me in the ropes. I'd do a Cornish hike on him, shove him. He'd do a back handspring, land on his feet, and spear me coming out of the corner. I knew he'd never do it, but I was selling it to the monitor, selling him to the people in charge.
Right. Is he your star pupil at the end of the day?
Well,
Is he the
I
one
trained
you're most
him.
proud of that you trained?
Yeah, probably. But I've trained Big Show. I've trained
Big Show.
DDP. I worked in the ring with Triple H. There's probably 80 to 90 guys if you go on the Power Plant website. In fact, I've got inducted into Power Plant Hall of Fame this year.
Excellent.
Over at the thing I saw Asia, I trained her as well.
Right.
Even shows they didn't decide to use her in a role that she was capable to do. You know, they put her in that cheesy role. She could run up the damn ropes and do a backflip and land on her feet behind you. You know,
So
and
she was a more agile version of China.
yeah. Oh yeah,
But
she
well,
was.
that's why they named her Asia, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was the
Chain or
WCW,
Asia,
Right,
you know,
right. It is a playoff.
Did you know Goldberg was gold, or were you like,
I
this is a
knew
hit or
him.
miss?
I knew it was after the first week.
Really?
After
Yes.
the first week.
After the first
That's
week.
pretty
So
quickly.
let me
Plus,
ask-
he did squats and stuff too. People don't think he just was handed nothing.
Right.
I mean, he went through his way of
But
squats.
did you see the whole package right away? Like, this guy's going to be a steamroller and he's
No,
gonna,
no.
go next.
It is, he developed his own kind of personality.
So he worked with himself. towards
Yes,
his
he
cha-
taped everything every day in the power plant.
Okay.
And then he'd take it home and watch it religiously and see what looked good, what didn't look good. Friggin', you got to give him his due, man. I know a lot of people are ditching him right now.
most people.
And saying that he don't deserve the money he's getting and all that bullshit. But truth and reality, he earned his shit.
He's still a believable ass kicker. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
did Bischoff ever, did he reach out to you and say, okay, who's in the plant? Who do you think is going to be a
Yeah,
future star?
yeah,
type of
they
thing?
come down and visit and
So
all
they
that.
would ask for your opinion with validity. They
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have you've got tremendous, you made some really great stars in the industry, but you had some misses too. One I've read about is Batista, for example.
Well, Batista, the best thing I did was run him off from the power plant because WCW at that time had no farm system, no nothing. And yes, I made him wipe his throw up and put his fucking shirt on. What a big deal. And if he's still blaming me for that, he's a pussy. That's the best thing that ever happened to him. Now look where he's at now.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Were you surprised? Were you surprised by his? He's a Hall of Famer event. At one point. Sure.
Yeah.
Batista turned out to be pretty great.
Yeah, he turned out to be great. He's a great actor, and
Did
stuff.
it surprise you?
And when
or-
he came down to me, he was bouncing in a titty club for
Right.
$100 a night.
He's just a dude. Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
So without him getting thrown out of somewhere, I basically knew we weren't going to make it at WCW because he had to wrestle.
Right.
He couldn't fucking wrestle.
So you had to
Right.
find. He's like, hey,
Right.
this guy's an entertainer. Let's. move
Well,
him to
every
the
night I
level."
went home from the power plant, I would analyze my own shit. Say, well, has this guy got potential, or is he going to be too far down the road, or is he going to develop quicker? Is he going to do whatever? So I put myself through hell, trying to figure out who could do what. And so anyway, I think that was the best thing that ever happened for him because Vince took the time to develop him, and which WCW wasn't going to do. I'll be honest with you. They were looking for stars right then. They're not looking to develop a lot
Was
of
there
people.
ever-
But Mike Sanders and Kiwi and all them.
Kiwi. Oh
and,
my God.
Was there ever a wrestler that you thought was like, this guy's going to be a star,
And they
but
told you,
some way they just wouldn't push him?
No, I honestly got great feedback.
That's great.
They didn't censor me any kind of way. In fact, before we moved over to the main office, we was in another building and had no AC, no nothing, which didn't bother me at that time. Because I did all the squats with the guys. I mean, I literally did all the squats with the guys. And you lead by example, right? I mean, that's the way I always believed and stuff. But
Especially if you're in charge of training, absolutely.
yeah, and I wasn't put in that position. I earned that position.
Were you disappointed when they offered you the training position? Because I'm sure you aspired to be a world heavyweight champion.
No, I just developed in that position. I didn't. I wasn't given that position.
Right.
I just had to earn it.
Right.
And back in the day, you had to earn every fucking thing you did.
Sure.
I mean, you had to earn the respect of your veterans. You had to earn the respect of everybody. And at the halfway through, I was calling matches to the top guys. And Nick Patrick don't get his due because I've seen the guys screw up and Nick get them right back on track.
The referee.
The referee
Yeah,
would talk
get
to him
back
and say,
in
hey,
line,
look,
this is the deal.
You're fucking
Wow.
up.
Wow.
You need to
So
do
the
this.
referee-
Grab a hold. Grab a hold.
The referee's role in professional wrestling matches are incredibly underestimated by the viewing audience. True?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Nick Patrick's pulling it all back together, Mike.
Well, to your
Wow.
to your right, I guess, is
to Buddy Lee's
super
right.
agent Eric Sims. Eric, welcome back.
Thank you.
How was the big event?
Big event was good. Had fun.
Yeah.
Different venue. How was the vibe?
I liked it. We were all the way to the terrace at the park, so we were all the way at the top of it, and it's a cool view of like Queens and.
So you're like JBL staring down at the Hammerstein during that ECW pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're looking at the tennis stadium and that City Field and stuff. It was
Nice.
So the fans out there,
it
right?
was
You got
cool.
the great Buddy Lee with you,
Yeah.
but you also supposed to bring Dutch Mantel in. They want to know what happened to Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, what's up?
due to a family emergency. I don't want to. I don't want to get into it, but
Right,
I
you don't
got-
wanna
I got-
just
I don't want to
disclose.
give the details of it because I don't know if they
Sure.
want it public or not.
Sure.
But the I got a text from him that he was due to come in on Friday. So
Friday, like yesterday.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, and I got a text Thursday night, Friday morning, 12:30 in the morning.
Well, was it Thursday night or Friday morning?
Huh?
Was it Thursday night or Friday morning?
12:36 a.m.
Well, that'd be Friday morning.
That's Friday
Okay.
morning.
The day of
So-
the flight.
Right.
Day of his flight, correct.
By the way.
That the so-called family emergency happened, and that he would not be
So
that
cool.
he would not be coming. So, my thoughts and prayers are with the family, and I hope I hope it turns out well.
Totally understand. And I could say to
His
Dutch,
so-called
I would say to
prayers
Dutch,
or
I would say to Dutch Mantel also, please play the New York Lottery on Saturday. there's a good possibility you might hit $40 million, considering the
Well,
lot
I'm gonna
that
go
he's in.
buy me a ticket before I leave.
Hey, look, you know what? I mean, the odds
I
are.
love Dutch Mantel.
I'm
What
all
the
about
frick?
odds. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dutch
Well,
Mantel, please play. I think it's $80 million
Would
this
you
year, this
please?
month. Right? What do you think?
I wonder
how
what the
much did it
lottery is
take?
in England.
What's that?
How much do they take after you win? Like 60% or something?
Too much.
Whatever Eric Sims takes.
What? But you gotta check his meal, so relax yourself. I mean, geez. Sorry,
Hey, look,
Eric.
You know,
Had to-
Eric. Stroke
Poor
it.
Eric.
It
What the
happens.
fuck?
It happens. And you know,
Okay, let's okay. So I booked the legends, the old timers of professional wrestling.
are you calling Buddy old?
Buddy's not an old-timer.
Am I talking or what?
Is that what you just told me, an old timer?
Yeah, I booked the old timers.
Go ahead.
Now I got old
I booked
timers.
the old timers.
I got old timers.
Yeah, old timers.
I
Okay,
didn't know.
we're here with the Alzheimer's.
I didn't
What are
know
you
I had
talking
old
about?
timers.
You know,
Yeah.
Eric, not to interrupt you, but I got to be honest. You're not that old, buddy, because I went in to get some autographs, and I guess
no.
Buddy misunderstood what I was saying. He came in, I thought he was going to beat my ass. I'm like, oh shit, I'm eating a sandwich. So you're not that old. You scared the shit out of me, so I'll tell you that right now.
Sorry about that.
So
I just had to get it straight in my head. You
I
know, what
shit
the
my
hell's
pants.
going
Sorry.
on?
And then a power plant and twist you at the bookends.
All right, buddy,
Nice.
don't get on Eric's. This is
Okay,
Eric's
go
time.
ahead.
It's Eric's
so
time.
like I was saying,
Eric's
like my niche is booking like the old timers and this and that, and some of them are just they're up there.
Yeah.
So you run the risk of having them having health issues.
Right.
It's rare, but it happens, and they can't make.
I think add that to the day of the event. Boy, the odds are incredible. I'm just throwing that out there.
Somebody's pushing
I'm just
the
look.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Yeah, like
Shit
the Bubba
happens,
Stinger
it
says,
happens.
shit happens. And give Eric a break. He's dealing with this shit
And Eric,
all the
this
time.
isn't your fault.
All the fucking
not
time he's
your
dealing
fault.
with this. Hey,
Anyway.
you know what, Eric?
What
you
are the odds that I get a call?
Eric,
the day
you
of
should
the
leave.
show? I
You
can't
should leave
come
your phone
because
off
I got a
until they're
family
supposed to
emergency.
show up. This way, they can't say they told you in advance. Just be like, "Where the fuck are you?"
Hey, at least he
Anyway.
wasn't like Jamie, who just didn't call you at all.
The fuck! I got a baby.
Like who?
I got a baby face the situation.
Hey,
Because
buddy,
God-
I think you're
that's true.
Buddy, I think you might be with the wrong age.
because
What you?
because
Do I need to get another one real quick or
Eric,
what?
this is horrible.
because God forbid he's actually telling the truth.
What do you think the odds
prayers
are
for the
that?
family?
What do you think the odds are? I'm willing to bet no. But hey, who
I
am I?
still like you, Dutch. God, maybe the third time's the charm. Give us a call. I give up. What
By
are
the
you-
way, if you're missing
Hey.
Dutch Mantel, he'll be on that guy from England's podcast tomorrow.
Hello,
So-
mate.
so-
Let's talk dirty diapers.
To your right is the one half of your band member, the great Bart Griggs from Wisteria Hall. Bart, how are you, buddy?
Well, I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm glad to be here. I'm really happy to be here. In fact, feel bad about the Dutch. Maybe if he gets a note from his doctor, is that going to work?
Possibly.
Produce
Possibly.
That's pretty good, Bart.
We'll have to give it
Yeah,
to
I
the
don't
school
think Dutch is the
principal,
one
but
that's
you know.
sick, but
Hey.
or has
Yeah.
the health issue going on.
Yeah, but maybe Eric will get the doctor's note first and pass it on to you with
Bart,
a
so
photocopy.
tell me,
So,
what's going on with
Yeah.
Wisteria Hall, my friend?
What is going on?
You know,
Go ahead,
we're-
Bart.
We're enjoying the music that we made. We have like some songs that we're going to record. We usually, when we start recording, we don't stop. So we get on a roll. We have some that we're going to finish. Really like that, you guys. The people who listen to the show, they have a lot of good things to say about the music.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Atlas likes his theme song.
Yeah.
And I got to say, Monte the Pharaoh, get on board. If you're not already on board, get on board.
Yeah.
This is where it's at.
By the way, Max was talking to your partner here, Jimmy, and he might want to collaborate in
Yeah,
some music
Max
with
is
you.
talking about doing music.
Complete
Hey.
honor. And we got to play with Coco.
He's a great guy.
here,
Yeah, Mac.
You know,
Yeah, man,
he's a
Mountain
great
Rock.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, we jam with Coco thanks to Michael's
yes,
expertise.
Mike's been really good.
Yeah.
As far as
and
putting us
JJ
out there.
McGuire. How you doing out there, JJ? Give me a buzz.
JJ.
So.
Yeah.
Buddy, Dark Side of the Ring,
Uh-oh.
Chris Canyon, I know
Oh.
he's your partner.
Uh-oh.
Well, he wasn't exactly my partner.
Well, he was your
They-
tag team partner. I don't mean
Well,
that
that's
partner.
what they said, but he never was.
Listen, just for
really.
the record, I
But
think he
I
was
had some great
massively
matches with
talented.
him.
Massively. Canyon was massively talented.
Oh yeah, you can't take nothing away from his talent.
Did you see the Demons early on?
No, I did. I ran a show for a buddy of mine that had cancer at Tabernacle in Atlanta, and he was there, and then he had his film crew there, filming everything he did. So I prefer not to even talk about him, but he definitely had some issues, skeletons in the closet and all that stuff.
He seems to trouble you, if I'm not...
Well, yeah, it does. When you get to know somebody,
Right.
and then you see them go through that kind of process.
Okay.
If you're not human, there's no way you can't bother you.
Right.
Like one
So
week
his
we
passing
lost
hurts
Paul
you.
Orndorff.
Okay.
We lost Jody Hamilton.
Right.
And we lost somebody else. I can't remember, all in 1 week. You know.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I quit going to funerals. I didn't go to Dusty's. I didn't go.
Right.
But I felt like it was going to be a circus anyway with WWE
So you're saying
and
you did
WC.
not go to Dusty's funeral?
I didn't. I regret it.
Why do you think death seems to come hand in hand with this business?
I don't think wrestlers like to deal with the issue of dying. It's like race car drivers. They don't want to go to the hospital. They don't want to be around what they may face,
Right.
And I think the same goes for the wrestling business. But Chris was definitely a talented guy, and except for his issues. And he was definitely a talent, and I've wrestled everybody from Fit Finley to Dave Taylor to Chris Benoit to everybody in the business at one time.
Look, I'm not probably a message of our show is we try not to talk about Chris Benoit, right?
In
Because-
general.
Right.
In general,
I'm sorry I brought it up.
No.
Don't be sorry.
Because
It's
because we had a
it's just one of
very
those things.
interesting conversation
Yes, we
with
did.
Max and you, and
Right.
the discussion, so I could share with the fans, and I'd like you to weigh in, was about Benoit and Max, who had sounded like he had a really close relationship with Benoit.
He had 5 months training
He
with
didn't
him.
believe
Yeah.
that was a true reflection of Chris Benoit, that the CTE and whatever took him, and I think I made the comment, it didn't matter to me, regardless what
Right.
he did,
Right.
he killed his
Right.
wife and child.
Right.
What did you know about Chris Benoit, and what are your thoughts
Well,
about that whole situation?
us stiff guys, we kind of hang out together, just
Okay.
like me and Max. He's stiff, I was stiff.
Right.
You can ask anybody if I was stiff, they'll tell you. Call Brian Clark on the phone right now and ask him. But Adam Baum. Anyway.
Bomb. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, all those stiff guys kind of hung out together. And so my opinion is this. Terrible thing happened. A terrible thing happened. But they analyzed his brain, and his dad did it just to find out what the hell really happened. And they said they had too many concussions that you couldn't even count. And I've had 12 I know about. Probably a couple in Japan where I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to go home. You didn't want to lose your spot on the bus, And, but, and then there was some other issues going on with Chris, too. I don't think I want to elaborate on that, but, there was some uses of different stuff that was happening with Chris, and
Well, it's fair to say that, I think it's fair to say that Chris Benoit obviously took either human growth hormones or steroids,
I
right?
think both.
I'm sure he took some sort of amphetamines,
Sure,
yet maybe
yeah.
some,
He took shit.
he took a lot of drugs.
He took a
right?
lot of shit.
And
Right.
probably the mixture probably wasn't a good little deal, considering a couple of concussions.
But in the end, is it the business's fault or is it the love for wanting to succeed in the business? Which
It's
is
the
it?
love of wanting to succeed in the business,
Thank you.
because when he broke his neck, and I think we talked about this in the back, I went and worked out with him, and I took my son, and his son played, because I have an autistic son. He's 32. He works. God rest. I mean, he's great person.
Gotcha.
Great person. All my kids are, but I really think being in front of the camera makes you think that it's like, okay, let's talk about Brett Favre for a second.
Okay.
You think he should have went to
Wait a minute.
Minnesota?
You mean the jerk who came to the Jets and screwed us up and set us back?
Yep.
All right, go ahead. What about him?
And, he went to Minnesota.
Yeah, went right to the championship game.
But, where somebody should have probably retired when they were on top.
He should have stayed with the Jets because the next 2 years they got to the AFC championship game, but let's not get into that. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But,
boy, am I pissed, huh?
But at
What a
Green
bitter
Bay, I think he should have got out when he was still at Green Bay.
Interesting.
Just don't keep on striving to be on TV and stuff when you got enough money, obviously.
I got you.
To get by. And I think that's kind of what happened with Chris is that maybe in his mindset, after having all them concussions and stuff, he still wanted to make that kind of money, And I had that conversation with him before, where I was like, dude, you just broke your neck.
How long before the unfortunate events did you speak to him?
Well, when he got back to, was it WWE then?
Because he won the world championship at WrestleMania 20. I mean, he's hit his pinnacle. Did you speak to him right before?
And, he was my size.
Right.
At that
a
point.
pit bull.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And by the way, your size.
Yeah, he's a pit bull.
You're a big dude.
Right.
You don't want a small guy.
Right. Yeah. No. At my prime, I was probably 248.
What was your last conversation with Chris Benoit, and how long was it before he unfortunately?
Unfortunately, it was like too many years.
Okay.
Because, we get back to WWE or WWF then, and, we kind of lose touch,
Right.
Even though we're great friends.
Right.
You kind of, once he gets in that position, you kind of lose touch with each other.
Right.
So that's what happened with me and Chris.
Okay.
And,
did you have any interaction with McMahon after WCW was purchased by him?
No, I did get an offer to go up there, but to me, I'm not going to move my family to Connecticut on anybody's word.
Okay.
Because Vince
So there was
will
never
do
any,
like he does everybody else.
Never
Sorry,
any
Vince,
serious
but
conversations?
You tie it up in the court until they're broke, and then that's it.
Right.
So
Sims, as an agent, what do you feel about the Chris Benoit situation? You knew Nancy, right?
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew Chris too. Not I've
I understand.
worked with him on the independent circuit when he worked the New Jersey.
How was he to work with for you? Okay.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
He was cool. He was cool. Like back in the early '90s with him and Sabu and on the Carluzzo shows, and then it moved over to ECW, and like I was there for that. And
but again, I want to. We heard Buddy's take on it. I want to hear your take. So here you got a very famous professional wrestler's take on it. Now I'm asking a pretty popular agent. What's your take on it?
It's misty water. It really is. The water's kind of, dirty. Exactly what took place.
I'll give you my take on it. I'll share it again.
Go ahead.
I don't really care what situation happened. You killed your child and you killed your wife.
It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
And
I was heartbroken.
I
was heartbroken.
I mean,
he was one of the greatest in-ring technicians I've ever seen, and it was absolutely heartbroken. As a mark, if you will, it broke my heart, and it still breaks my heart.
Well,
I mean, Bart, as a
about it
fan,
today.
I mean, I know you're a huge fan of The Undertaker, but this is like real life kind of Undertaker.
Yeah, it's up there with the OJ thing, except OJ
That's
kind of
fair.
No, just more
Shock.
famous about it,
more famous about it, like killing the ones you love.
Right. It's just
it's awful.
It's a very tricky situation and tough to talk about because it's just.
How do you guys feel about? There's been talk that some people feel like put him in the Hall of Fame anyway. What say you guys?
Did they take him off the network?
That's like saying
I think they have.
That's like saying put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Whether he did.
Well, Pete Rose didn't kill anybody.
No, but
let's
again, but he did a crime, supposed crime.
He did something very bad.
And he's being punished by Major League Baseball.
Right.
So Chris Benoit did supposed crime, and it's being punished by WWE or professional wrestling.
Right.
Now, it's apples and oranges, the crimes, but the censorship or what the banning is, it's universal.
Buddy, you worked with Chris, obviously. Were you pissed when you heard about it? What was your emotions?
Oh yeah, I was mad.
You had to be angry and feeling frustrated.
Yeah,
Plus, you were friends with Nancy, right?
Well, yes, I was friends with
It was
Nancy.
hard to believe.
Nancy used to be with Kevin. You know, I don't know if Kevin brought that up or not.
Sure.
They were together, and then you know, it was like an angle deal to start with, working, and then it fell into a real deal.
Well, can I ask you about that? So here you go. This is like family, right? You're doing this script, and he goes an angle, and then all of a sudden a relationship starts there. How do you, as a person that knows Kevin, knows Nancy, knows Chris, how do you feel
when
about
they
that?
made me the Leprechaun, Kevin Sullivan, Jimmy Hart, that was supposed to be my role against Chris Benoit. I mean, me and Chris were supposed to go at it.
Okay.
So that's what made me pissed about the whole situation, and you know, got me thinking maybe something else to it. But you know, you're looking at the deal, and obviously you can't say pinpoint exactly what really happened, or
Right.
There's no way to justify it.
None of us were there.
And you know, and to know him like I known him, and you know, I've seen him do 500 Hindu squats, punishing himself from a match where he screwed up. You know, because that come from the dojos in Japan, man. You remember when he was a Pegasus kid and all that?
Sure.
I mean, that's coming
So
from
if
the dojo.
Benoit made a mistake during a match, he would take it out on himself, working out physically after that. Dude, this guy's
That's
Oh, yeah,
pretty
I've
well
heard stories
documented.
like
That's
that.
pretty.
Yeah,
I wasn't
Like,
aware.
buddy, when you see something like, are you thinking like something's off with this guy, or like, oh, this guy's just
Well, I
dedicated?
did so many squats with people, Hindu squats, you know.
Right.
I think a couple times I actually did them with him.
So you just felt he was disciplined. You weren't thinking anything like this. guy's
No,
taking
no,
things to
I
a
wasn't
extreme.
thinking. I was just thinking, well, what an interesting guy. You know, well, I'm being honest, okay?
No, I got you.
A guy takes his business so seriously that he's punishing himself for something that happened in the ring. It may not have been his fault. You know, there's always 2 or 4 people involved. Well, you got a tag team match. There's 5 people involved.
Right.
Referee and the 4 opponents. So.
Right. You were the trainer at the Power Plant. Is there any validity? Because we read this all the time. Chris Benoit did an amazing flying headbutt. And do you think that move contributed?
Oh, yes,
okay.
definitely.
Now we have it from the
Oh,
trainer.
yes, definitely.
That works for me because I heard it from you.
Yeah.
All right.
The
'Cause you
thing
hear this
is,
all
you
the
can't
time.
do a move like that and not hurt yourself.
Gotcha.
I mean, people think, wrestling's fake, right?
Right.
But you know, the bumps are real.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the fuck
get
they're
it,
talking
but
about.
I'll just argue this point. If his head's actually making contact, I'm sure the opponent then is also having contact made,
their
right?
shoulders, you know, because that's where he aimed
But he
for.
wouldn't land with his head onto their shoulders. It's not their head being hit. It's his.
Yes.
So we were talking back with
Maybe
Max.
somebody said to themselves, wait a minute, we need to change his finish.
Right.
You know? Somebody in the business has said, wait a minute.
You know what though? The promoters probably were like, "It looks fucking great. Go with it."
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's
They
exactly.
were getting what they
there it is.
wanted.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
nobody stepped back from football
Did you
back
think
when Terry Bradshaw was playing and everybody else was
Right.
playing and getting hammered.
Right.
When you can't go touch Tom Brady.
Joe Namath
Or
getting crippled.
anybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe Namath got crippled, but that's a
So
whole
let's
other story.
get into this
Yeah.
a little bit. We were talking to Max about in the back about the use of steroids, right, or human growth hormones and drugs. Trying to figure out, like, again, Max was not defending Chris. I don't think
No.
he was. He was just saying that wasn't the guy he knew.
Yeah.
But I had asked you if you had taken the gas and, like, what kind of effects it had done for you. Can you
Well, I only
explain
took
to me
it for a
what the
few
gas did
years.
to you?
Are
I only
steroids
did it for a
bad?
few years. And I figured out, you know, hey, I got a family. I got to change my ways, you know. But, you know, I always, you know, I've left hotels because they didn't have a fucking gym. You know, so
Right.
you know, I mean, I really changed my life. You know, because I was getting drug tested. You know, so you know they was testing me and Bobby Eaton and shit, and wasn't testing anybody else that they knew. So that
Did
was.
Did you find steroids or human growth hormones? I don't know
I
which
didn't
one
ever
you
take you.
Beneficial or bad?
Were they? Did you find them beneficial?
Well, I got strong as hell. I mean, I was incline pressing 405 for 10 reps with no spotter. But I never maxed out because if you got hurt, you didn't get paid.
Right.
You know, it was back in that day. There was only the top stars got contracts. The rest of us are independent contractors. You know, so you know you have to look at it, and then you look at it. Hell, I wrestled for 26 years. You know, and I was watching. I kind of like American Ninja. You know, because he's different than everybody else. And then you look at it, and in the same like 6-man tag, they got 4 planches out on somebody. I used to do it when I was young, and then I realized I was getting hurt, so I went back to the basics and drilled the basics into them, and then after they learned the basics, then move on to something a little bit higher. I was doing it before Cactus Jack was doing it, so I learned at an early age that hey, you're tearing your body up, so how much longer you're going to go? Like them students, I told them, man, you got to last long enough to get noticed. To get noticed in this business right now, it's virtually impossible. I mean, really, you look at it. Look at Vince, you know, and also AEW, and all it's.
Well, speaking of today's wrestling, as a purist as yourself, what do you think of today's wrestling? Like, okay, I'll just tell you personally.
Okay, I wasn't watching.
Would
then
they
I did
even
a
want you as
podcast.
a trainer today, considering everything is cartwheel city?
Well, I'll tell you this: the old is new now.
Okay.
So psychology and showing, okay, the babyface can wrestle, but he out wrestles you. I can still wrestle as a heel.
Okay.
Why the hell can I?
Okay.
Okay, but you tell that story in the ring. Okay, it gives you a reason to do what? Cheat behind the referee's back. Everything's done in front of the referee. You can get heat that way.
Right.
I've changed into a babyface in a Memorial match because it didn't work. Wasn't working. The people wasn't reacting like I wanted them to. So I think you can't go all the way back to the 80s, but I think the 80s is new now because they've seen everything else. What are you going to do? Cut his head off with a chainsaw cover and he's going to kick out?
You're going to recycle the old skits that bring them back to the new audience.
Right, and I think they're thirsty for that.
What about you?
I agree.
There won't be another Dusty Rose.
I agree. with that.
There ain't going to be nobody with that charisma.
Right.
You know?
Hulk Hogan? We'll never see another Hulk Hogan.
No.
Never.
No.
I'm going to disagree with both of you there. I think
What?
Never
see another Hulk Hogan.
I think Roman Reigns is
There he goes.
a very high.
Well, you're talking about a guy that's got a special circumstance.
Roman
I
Reigns
agree.
is awesome.
I agree, but I feel like
He's a
if you would have
different
put,
kind of
if you would
I
have
mean,
put,
look at The Rock.
yeah,
I mean, look at him. He's a mega star, man.
Absolutely.
He absolutely made the Super Bowl this year.
we've
But
always
his best
said that
performance is
we've
still
always
with The
said
Rock.
that we've always
Better
said
than
that
anything he did in Hollywood.
John Cena
you
was
know?
the real last great
I
pro
feel
wrestler.
like John Cena.
I tried to get Cena. He sent in a tape to the power plant, and they was like, "Oh,
They didn't like him.
Think
about that,
But he lived in California then,
Right.
And to bring him in and all that stuff, I think they thought it was too much.
So you actually could have had one of the all-time greats, and who
could have.
stopped you?
Yeah,
Who stopped you?
Office.
The Office.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't name names, but Office stuff.
Real quick, Rick B is asking Eric Sims, are you still involved with the Sheik?
Sheik is currently retired. Can't get him out of the house.
Really?
I speak to him every so often on the telephone, but for all intents and purposes, he's done.
What does he say to you on the phone? Social Security number one, and hangs up on you? I mean,
Eric Baba, how are you? How is family? Hey, guys, how
Hey,
you doing? How you
Goosey, baby.
Just call and check up on you, see how you feeling. Oh,
Right.
thank you, Eric Baba. Oh, good.
not
check
doing
up on your
anything.
champion.
Wow.
Buddy Lee brings up a great point. Old is new. So as an with respect, as an older agent, do you feel these young guys nipping at your heels right now? Do you feel like that you're becoming a dinosaur in this agency stuff?
You got to go with the. As much as I'm old school, you have to go with the trend, and the trend is, the newer talent.
Right.
Because the older talents are either going to retire or die eventually.
Right.
So once they're gone,
Or not show up on a Friday flight.
Exactly.
How hard is it for you to get relevant talent
So-
in the current generation? How hard is it for you to get guys that are hot now? I mean, is
Well,
that
I think
like,
I think the bigger question, Jimmy, is this: is
What's
like
that?
these younger guys, they're willing to like throw the house at trying to make the cash, and
with the pandemic, people want to raise their prices, and with it being hot, and especially like 88, people want the AEW talent, and they're everybody that means anything is has an agent, and they want like top dollar, and it's hard to it's sometimes hard to compete with that because just the risk ain't worth the reward. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe we talked to a guy that had all the newer talent, right, today.
Uh-huh.
And he's paying top money to get that talent, but at a cost of you and other promotions or other promoters. Are you willing to take that chance to pay that top dollar?
Well, okay. Am I willing to willing to lose or risk $5,000 in hopes to make 75 to 10 or
Right.
whatever on a talent? I'd rather risk 500 to make 750 or 1,000.
Right.
I can walk away from a $500 loss. I can't walk away from a $5,000
Right.
Then
We're not mortgaging our house to get the Undertaker.
then why
books.
do it? Why do it at all? What's the point?
Sometimes you gotta take a risk. Sometimes you take
Right.
chances.
It's
I
calculated.
I take calculated
There you go.
chances.
Can I ask a question? Does the WWE allow their the wrestlers, performers to have like
no.
side representation?
That's the new
No.
company,
Well, actually,
right?
no. Well, no, that's not true. Because now,
What was the name?
He's got it right here.
Fitterman Sports.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Fitterman Sports, and it's all over the news.
Yeah.
Just spent a lot of money, and is a new partnering agent for public appearances with the WWE wrestlers.
I didn't know that.
So that just came in.
broke. Eric, how does that affect you? Is that going to affect you at all, or
Probably not.
I didn't? Okay.
No, it
Okay.
won't. I mean,
All right.
he's brokering out the contracted talent.
Right.
I tend not to touch contracted talent.
Right.
Because
Well, at one time, Vince wouldn't allow that. But
Does that
Right.
include AEW, Eric? By the way,
well,
I
he's
mean,
not AEW.
is it just WWF that's kind of like WWE?
It's
That's
just
kind of like
he just has a WWE contract.
okay.
But again, when you're dealing with a contracted talent, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor,
Right. TNA,
Impact,
etc.
whatever.
Right.
You run the risk of them pulling your talent for whatever reason they want, and two, the price gets jacked up.
Okay.
Now, obviously they're hotter on TV. Obviously they're worth a little bit more, but are they worth that much more?
Right.
I don't know.
Do they think they're worth that much more? Do they charge you or attempt to charge you exorbitant amounts with the
I'm
current
sure
talent?
I don't know if it's them or if it's the new agents that they have or the big agencies that they're dealing with that want to charge it like the football players get or the
Right.
baseball players. Not on that level, but like on wrestling level. So
Right.
if a person used to be $1,000, now he's $5,000.
$5,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a.
That's
bit of a chunk.
especially for someone who's using them, for, years and years and years. I want to be grandfathered in. I want the grandfather price.
So,
Right.
buddy, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
in today's, is it fair for me to say that wrestling is kind of a dying sport? Right? It's not back in the day where we had 10 million people watching it. It's probably to a class of like 2 million people.
Yeah. Of course, it ain't like Japan. When I went to Japan, Stan Hansen, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Terry Gordy, and all them guys, And by the way, it ain't nothing like seeing Stan Hansen pull off them glasses and pull that arm sleeve up to give you the clothesline. You're going, is he going to kill me? Really? Because he can't see you.
He can't see you, so he's probably going to kill you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thank goodness I wasn't on that end, but I got plenty from Steve Williams and Terry Gordy. Yeah. But yeah, maybe in the States it is a little bit. I don't know. It's a wait to see stuff, right?
You know, it's funny though. We worry about the state of pro wrestling, and it's still getting 1 to 2 million viewers every week. So what the hell are we really worrying about?
Well, it's not really, if you think about it.
I'm serious though. That's 1 to 2 million.
It's not a huge amount for the
not
way
a
it
small
used to
Wrestling
be.
was on Monday, Tuesday,
right.
Wednesday,
But
Friday,
that's 20 years ago
periodic
already.
Saturdays
I mean,
and Sundays.
Too
on
much
the pay-per-view.
saturation.
Right. I agree with that.
So that you
I
can get
agree
your
with
fix
that.
on
But
wrestling.
I guess my question to you, buddy, is did you ever think, though, that signings would be as strong as they are? Because
No, I would have never thought that in a million years.
Well, hasn't that worked out well?
Yeah, that's worked out great for everybody. Even for somebody that ain't been in the wrestling business,
Right,
which
sure.
infuriates me when I see them selling merchandise.
Well, back in the
Thing.
day, that didn't exist. Now
Right.
that's the new medium.
Right.
But what I'm saying, it's funny the fact that there's, look, 2 million people is a lot of people. I get it. They're watching wrestling. That's a core audience, right? But these signings, I mean, everywhere you go, there's like thousands and thousands of people showing up. You can't have enough autographs of Buddy Lee Parker. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, who would ever
This guy
think?
made me sign a lot of autographs, by
Did
the
he
way.
really?
Yeah, oh my God.
Pre-mortem preparation. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Pre-mortem.
Once again,
Wow, buddy.
I'd like to
Think
remind
about
you.
that. He's waiting. He's just waiting.
And the best part is there's a Checkers meal waiting for you. Checkers.
Well, good. I'll take anything I can get.
If he happens
is
to
rough.
if he happens to die on Monday or Tuesday after he goes home, okay, I've done my
Wow,
job.
Well,
that's
it's
rough.
on the air now.
That
Okay,
is right.
we
Yeah,
got it on the
yeah,
air.
he's publicly proclaimed.
So,
he don't give a rat's ass. That's rough. That's rough, Eric.
So, Bart, I ask you this question, right? You've got this aspiring band that makes this great music,
Who's that? Oh, that's us.
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
But being an older guy, do you think
What?
that kind of shuts you guys out of the possibility?
mean like
tell,
we're
tell
not-
the truth, Bart.
rock
Say
and
yes.
roll and whatever music is
We're too
always
old to
been-
rock and roll, like Ian Anderson
Well,
said.
you know, it's just
Who
like
says that? I listen
Ian
to
Anderson from
AC/DC
Jethro
all the
Tull.
time. Shit.
well, to
Metallica. You know,
you
I'm
go.
from the 80s.
Are you
Shit.
asking? Are you saying there's like some sort of like ageism? I guess, you know,
Ageism? Wait a minute, I hear a guy in Queens.
rock and roll, but it's
No, what I'm
rock
saying,
bands.
what I'm
Okay.
saying is that we're talking about a whole bunch of different subjects, but
Right.
as being an older person, right? Do you feel that
Who's
you're
older?
kind of pigeonholed and the
It's
opportunities are least?
Who's
are not
older?
available?
No, I think that media consumption is always looking for those the young hotties, and all I see
Sure.
is these Disney girls, and
Yeah.
but people who actually listen to music. I think me and Jimmy have like gone with fine wine. We don't look too horrible. At least
He's got the
I think
confidence.
I think
Take
we're
the
hanging in
shades
there.
off.
By the way,
Okay.
I do have to say something. This couch is really, really comfortable. It's
Hey,
like
Bart, by the
Are
way,
you going to go nappy?
one question out there.
no.
one
I
question.
think we got
Yes,
I got a
so
lot
He's
to
really,
give.
if
I
you
got the
give me
heart.
5 minutes earlier, you'd have
got
been asleep.
I got the heart of like the
Bart,
20-year-old.
ESO wants to know who carries the band.
Don't, Bart.
Carries
Don't
the
feed
band.
into him. He's looking
It
for
says
trouble.
it right there. Ask Bart who carries the band.
I can't wait for
not
this
even
You're the
answer.
star of the band. Just to be honest, just say it. I'm the band.
Bart, don't fall
I'm
for
the
these
star of the
guys.
band.
Don't fall for these guys, Bart.
Honestly, I'm going to give you the answer that you all expect. We're a partnership. It's like
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're better.
I mean,
You're better, right?
we have like I don't know.
Look at Sid.
Am I
You're-
better?
you're
Yo,
better.
Hey, don't try to
Look
wiggle out
at Sam
of it
stirring
now.
this shit.
You're
Screw
better.
you.
I'm gonna make you do squats right here.
What is going on
You
here?
carry him to
It's like
be
it's like a
what
tag.
he is
it's
today.
it's like a tag team that just endures. And like some of these.
Nice
tag
try,
teams are
Eric.
Nothing.
Go ahead.
Some of these tag teams are nothing without their partner. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
That
You
is
know,
so
they
true.
gotta have. It's like
Actually, there
bacon
might
and
be
eggs.
something without their partners, and that's why Vince separates them, and one goes off
Yeah.
to success, and
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
The other
That's
one
why
is,
you leave Demolition the fuck alone. This is Axe and
right,
Smash.
right.
Quit starting trouble.
How about
But
the,
I will-
how
I
about
will
the
say
Rocker?
this. I
Shawn
will-
Michaels, the hottest thing in
I
wrestling.
will say this
Yeah.
though.
Poor Marty. Oy.
We've been doing this for a while, and
Hey, Eric.
Back
you
to Marty.
you can't force like things like harmony and vocals and stuff. When we do it, it's just natural.
You see that,
It doesn't
Mike?
take.
You tried it. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Wasn't
you know.
me.
It
I
was
got you,
ESO.
man.
though.
It was
ESO
ESO,
I
creative.
know what you're going after.
What are you guys doing over there,
Buddy,
ESO?
And we will be playing on the show
Buddy,
one
let
time.
me ask you something. Was Eric Bischoff the right guy for WCW?
Oh, he had to.
Or was it just
He
the
was better than
NWO?
Vince Russo.
Yeah.
Okay, Vince Russo was a double agent.
He wasn't your bro.
Wait a minute, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
He was a
Please
double
explain
agent.
the difference
Vince
and why
sent him
was-
over to screw WCW.
Right.
What? There you go.
Seriously.
I think so.
Explain that.
Because who's going to turn Bill Goldberg heel?
Yeah,
when
that
he's
was
the
pretty-
hottest
that-
babyface
that was
ever.
pretty bad.
We're going too fast.
That was bad.
So
No, that
Bischoff,
was bad.
Bischoff set it up, but do you think his advancements were purely due to the NWO, or do you think it was because Bischoff knew what he was doing?
That's murky water there. I don't know which is the right answer for
I
that.
think Bischoff knew what he was doing, but he started to falter, and then Vince sent Vince Russo over there to fucking sink the ship. What do you think?
I think so.
There you go. There it is.
I
Right.
think
There you go, Buddy Lee interviewing the Pharaoh.
He
Well,
agreed with me.
That's what you told me to do.
He's agreeing
You
with
really
Let me
me.
go back to this sandwich and I'm yelling at you again.
Why do you say that? Because Vince Russo just turned it upside down, or what?
Well, I mean, you're going to take your hottest babyface ever and turn him fucking heel.
He got
If it's
arrested
not fucking broke, go fix
Explain
it.
that,
He
though.
got arrested for stalking
I've
Miss
never heard that
Elizabeth. That
story.
was
What
horrible.
Yeah.
happened there? Why
wrote
was that?
that?
Why was that being set up like that?
Yeah, why did they turn Goldberg?
That was Vince Russo that made that decision. Well, who the fuck says he was right?
Did you call him?
I
and
didn't
be
say
like,
he was
"Hey,
right.
this is my-
I got along with him.
This is my student. What the fuck are you doing to him?
Oh,
I
you know, at that point, they wouldn't listen to shit I got to say.
Oh boy,
You know,
the rails were just.
They just didn't
it was
care.
done.
Nobody cared. You know,
Interesting.
that's unfortunate because, and then he makes a big comeback, right? Now look at him. But I wish I could move from California to Texas over gun laws.
There you go.
But and more places to put my cars. But I ain't faulting Bill for what he's made.
What was your thoughts when Bill DeMott fell from grace at NXT? I mean, you had worked with him. You know, he was a trainer.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then he worked for Jody.
yeah.
you
What
know?
was your thoughts when he went down? I mean,
Man,
were you
I'll tell you what,
surprised, or-
Jody invited me to come down because they wanted to do some night classes. And I walked through the door, you could hear crickets.
Okay.
One guy rolling up the mat, everybody else standing around. I was like, what the fuck? This ain't how it's supposed to happen. I made everybody tear down the ring and put it on the truck and learn how to build it and how to set
You
it
put
up
those
because that's
asses in
part of the
gear when
deal.
okay.
You got to know every aspect because
Right.
eventually I was in production. I was building rings. I come up with a deal for the giant fusing cables together because fuckers got to get bigger.
Did DeMott learn from you to train? I mean, what was the...
I'm friends with Bill, okay? We're on the
Okay.
green room together. I don't know if
Okay.
y'all know about that, but...
I mean, bad rap for him at the end of the day, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Because,
All right.
if you let your students run the asylum, there's nobody can win. Well, holding somebody accountable for their actions. And it ain't up to the fucking student to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you got a bad rap. I think a little bit he was trying to be me, but all my shit was real.
Right.
I even had, like I told them in the back, I even had Paul Orndorff come down one time, and he goes, "How'd you arrange that?" I said, "I didn't arrange shit. That happens every tryout. That's." People fall out, people drop down.
To be fair to Bill, you were pre-PC era, and he fell into that PC era when everything changed on him.
Yeah.
He didn't check and adjust. So you're right. He tried to be you in the wrong time, and it wasn't going to fly.
It didn't fit.
There you go.
There's a wrong era for that to happen.
Right.
What
Right.
What wrestler made you want to become a professional wrestler?
I believe it or not, Mr. Wrestling 2
Mr. Wrestling 2.
and Jody. I mean, my grandfather's got me going. We used to go down to Griffin, Georgia, the Armory. They run that in afternoons and run the Omni at night. And I've wrestled in the Omni, thank God.
Nice.
He's actually the one that got me started about 7 years old. And I tell you what, me and my wife didn't go out on a date till 8:05 when the Georgia Championship Wrestling went off.
Bad as you.
I know.
But thanks to Ole Anderson for sending me to Jody.
Wait, you're thanking Ole Anderson? You're
Yeah.
the first one. Everybody bitches about Ole.
Everybody bitches about Ole. but
Everybody.
Ole used you if you could work. He fired the Samoan SWAT team and put us on the road with 3 weeks with the fucking Steiners. You don't think we didn't hammer them? Because they're going to hammer the fuck out of us. We might
Right.
as well get our shit in.
Right.
We beat them up with the damn nightsticks out behind the referee's back to get our heat every night.
So Ole gets a bad rap too, then, in your opinion?
Well, yeah.
Boy, oh boy, does he get a bad
Sims,
rap.
who made you want to be an agent?
Oh. Wow.
Then, I was trying to find my way in the business, and I promoted, I sold merchandise, I tried my hand at refereeing. Then I just decided, hey, I got these contacts. Let me just see if I could book guys for appearances. And it just, it just flourished, and I just built on that because I found I was good at it. And, and there's a lot to being an agent. It's just not calling the guy showing up. It's you see the finished product. I show up with talent. That's the finished product. You don't know what I have to do
to get that.
To get there.
Sure.
And it's all the customer service.
Yes, that's what he said to me the other day in the car, and I went, he's damn right.
Did Abdullah ever get his check?
We don't know if Abdullah ever got his check, come to think about it.
Who the fuck are you? Really? I'm sitting next to you. I'm sitting next to you.
Bart, don't take any shit from this guy. Okay? He's a cheap fuck and he pays for checkers. Fuck him.
Just stick to the music.
I'm Monty and the Pharaoh. I'm like the third Monty and the Pharaoh.
You sing a song for the show.
Bart, who made
You're asking me a fucking wrestling
who made
question.
you want
Let
to
me
become a
fucking
rock
answer
star?
the wrestling question.
Yeah, did you pay Abdullah?
Who the fuck are you?
I'm the guy interviewing you fuck.
Bart, who
I ain't heard of Abdullah's name in a while.
Bart,
Abdullah was paid.
All right, order of the
made
court.
you want to be a
wrestler?
Sorry, an artist.
It's without being boring. I mean, I discovered music way like first and second grade, and the Beatles and all that stuff, and just watching that.
I want to hang
seeing
myself
them, seeing them on the stage, like with the guitar. I was like, just do that.
Fucking hang myself now.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Well, you know what? Eric will appreciate. Tell us how it took a year for you to land at Wisteria Hall, Eddie Kramer from Led Zeppelin and Jimi fucking Hendrix, because you're the guy who brought him to us, so you can tell him that.
Yeah, we chase these guys.
Don't hang yourself, Eric. This will be quick.
Guys, they've heard our music. They love it, just like all these Monty and the Pharaoh fans. And if Eric Sims, he's sitting here sleeping.
Boy, if he's
I'm
like
trying to wake him up.
he's talking and it's putting me to sleep even more.
Nah, you've been sleeping the whole time.
I'm telling you,
You know what? And your client said you've been sleeping the whole time. So shut the fuck down and fall the fuck asleep.
By the way, when we're editing the reduced version of the show, we're gonna catch that sleeping.
You have to put that on because that's the fucking highlight of the show.
Jimmy, I'm gonna focus in on him sleeping
Me
when we do the editing over there.
Absolutely. And we'll put him in black and white like we always
I'm fighting
do.
to stay awake.
We owe you. Buddy, take him to the training center. Teach him how to stay awake.
Yeah.
Eric,
Well, I tried to get. He did some squats today. He surprised the shit out of me.
you did squats?
Yeah.
I did my fucking squat. I did my fucking squat.
All right, so buddy, last question before we cut out.
Let's say Mr. Wisteria
No. We just
Rumor.
Listen,
Let him do some fucking
wait,
squat.
can I get a hold of
Squat
those
up and down on
fanny
that-
packs over there, man? Those,
Oh, wait, I
those
have to
things are
close
too
it.
cool.
I might lose a fucking pen here.
Yeah, the fanny packs are there, a big hit.
It fell out of his fanny pack.
Eric, can I sign that fanny pack for you? I'll jack it up
buddy,
in value. You know
I'm
what
sure
saying?
you get a lot of
Value.
interview requests from what the rumors have, but we love to talk about this guy on our show once in a while. Hannibal, from what I
Who?
understand, is requesting
Now
you to
Eric
come
is
on-
getting very sleepy.
has
Hannibal.
expected you to
That's
come on
great.
his show numerous times, and you've no-showed him. What's the deal with that?
What?
What? First time I've heard this shit.
I'm just telling you what I've been told.
He's no-showed. You've done yourself right, by the way.
Well,
But
Please
he's-
contact Eric Sims if you want interviews or anything to do with Buddy Lee Parker. Thank you.
That'll take care of that.
he takes a
That settles that.
settle pictures or anything that you want. He's got plenty of them.
And Eric promises to be wide awake
got
for your
writers
phone.
Want to book Buddy Lee Parker? Contact ESS.
All right. So real quick, buddy, to the fans out there, tell them what they mean to you and what
Well,
you
they
like to
mean
say.
everything to every wrestler, because without the fans, we would all be shit.
There you go.
So, truly, the fans is what drives us to do the crazy shit that we do. I've done every kind of friggin' move off the top rope and everything. And But yeah, I've loved my run. Hell, I got fired up again Friday when I was training them kids. All of a sudden I'm taking arm drags and fucking showing them stuff and stuff. That's what makes me excited about the business. I'm trying to give back a little bit of something, and guide them in the right way. Because if we, as a wrestler, if I don't give back, who's going to give back?
Right.
Really.
Right.
Think about that. Who's actually going to take the time to give back to wrestling? So it rolls over to the future, so the future has a chance to keep on going. Because if you don't give back, then I'm a shitty fucking person.
I feel the same way. Now I'm not a wrestler, so I can't do what he does. But for the agency, being an agent, and with the new crop of agents coming in, I know my time's coming soon. So it's my time, my job to get the next generation ready, and whether directly or indirectly, a lot of people watch how I do it and taking my model and they're doing it, and whatever they can learn from me, either directly or indirectly, hopefully it rubs off on them, and
So you've paid it forward, and you're building a new crop. How about you, Bart?
I just think that Eric's doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean? Mentoring all these young agents, the future.
Yeah, well, we got to have conventions down the road.
They
Honestly, I feel like what Eric described and what Buddy described is what we're doing with rock and roll.
Exactly.
We're trying to pass it on to the next generation.
We are.
Hopefully you love it, and thank you for liking it. That's pretty much
it.
You leave behind the good that you can.
So, like you said a long time ago, you got to have these songs to leave behind, and people could hear them way after I'm gone.
Right. Long after I'm bitching and complaining, the songs will still be here, just like your bodies of work will still be here.
Time.
Right.
I don't see you dying anytime soon.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Unless Eric falls on you.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys for joining us. This has been the end of the marathon. But really, on a wrestling end, fans love you. We want to thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Eric,
I'm sorry about the sandwich situation earlier.
You scared
me. I just had to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Did you eat his sandwich?
No.
Now, you know what I respect about this guy? Really, seriously, I was playing around with Eric's vice president of operations.
Okay. She's cool, but next.
All right, so.
Okay.
She's a fucking rock star. Show a little respect.
I think she's
cool. A fucking rock star. She's a fucking rock star.
I was talking to the
Dude, she licked my sandwich. Let's not get into it.
Hey! She don't look anybody's sandwich.
I was talking.
No, she doesn't look anybody's
sandwich.
sandwich.
To Eric's president of operations. I was talking about Buddy Lee's photos, kidding around with her. I think Buddy thought that I said something, but which is great.
What did you think?
It doesn't matter.
I come in here and confronted him.
Right. Here's the point. This is a real man.
Yeah, well,
instead of him sitting behind, he came up. He goes, "Is there a problem?" Like, straight up.
Shit, buddy.
And I'm like, "No, man. What are you talking about?" He's like,
"Oh, that's what fucking men do.
That's what men do. I like it.
Hiding behind no women."
Wait a minute, bro.
I agree, brother. I appreciate that because that's address it head on. Find out what the issue is.
And then I said, we're cool.
And then I said, oh, man, I wasn't talking to you. I'm eating my sandwich.
Yeah. But I had to come. I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Wow.
So I'm going to confront him. Hey, I'm a guy just like every fucking body else. And if I don't carry my shit up with a belt and fucking whatever, which I've had to put my ass many a times, but, you got... Especially in the wrestling business, if you don't stand up for yourself, who the fuck you think's gonna stand up for you? Nobody.
You realize that, my partner has always said we should have been wrestlers. This guy would have been training us.
No, I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
You think that would have worked out for us?
Bart, what are you turning over to the new group of musicians? What do you think Wisteria Hall's leaving in its place?
Yeah, as Jimmy was saying earlier, we're leaving rock, original rock, so the rock isn't dead. You don't hear much of that on the radio.
Long live rock, please.
Harmony's good, original rock. A little less boring than the way I'm sounding right now. But I'm going to tell you this right now.
Total fucking bore.
Hey,
put me in a fucking sleep. Have some fucking energy when you talk about your
Dude, you were sleeping before you sat down.
I think he's the fucking star of the thing. He at least has fucking energy and charisma.
Of course
this
he
is
does.
rough.
At least he has fucking charisma.
Rough. Listen, to every Simon, there's a Garfunkel and
here.
vice versa. I'm very comfortable
I will
with him.
say this.
But I appreciate
Buddy,
your,
if I wake up tomorrow and I find out that maybe you have killed yourself, I understand why. And you are forgiven.
What, did he have to sit on this show with us?
Wait a second. Buddy cannot kill himself until after we go to the to the Wrestling Collector tomorrow in Stockholm, New Jersey.
Where is he
Hey,
We're appearing
now
from
this
11
is
to
airing live, right?
That I don't give
So
a
if
shit.
something happens to me next
Dude,
week,
don't go. He's making it
I
sound
don't
like
care.
air it.
he's making it sound like you shouldn't
We're
go
going to be at the
tomorrow. I don't
Wrestling
know.
Collector
know.
tomorrow
listen,
in
man.
Stockholm, New Jersey,
all right.
on round 15, and from 11 to 2, along with Man Mountain Rock, Kevin Sullivan, and Outback Jack.
Yeah. And not Ace
With
Frehley.
all being said, Bart, thank you for the wonderful music you created.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
Bart,
you
man.
very much.
www.esspromotions.com for all the latest in ES.
Shy, aren't
Hey,
you?
listen, man. Wisteria Hall right here. I'm the
By the
quiet
way,
Beatle. You got to understand I'm the quiet
Maria
Beatle.
Davis
Not
says out there
everybody's got
today,
the
please sit
charisma
down before you
of my
fart.
buddy over
Okay,
here.
that's what she said.
Who's saying that?
Maria Davis.
Marie Davis is right.
On the other
All
note,
right.
buddy, thank you.
Thank you.
It's an honor
Thank
for
you.
the
It's
show
an
to
honor
have
for
a
being
pleasure
on
with
your show.
someone like yourself on this show.
I appreciate
You're an
it.
icon in the sport. You've made a difference. You made a difference in everybody's lives. And again, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And thank you, ESS, for
Thank you.
bringing this
Thanks, Eric.
gentleman
Thank you.
in here.
My pleasure.
With that,
This has been Monte and the Pharaoh, and despite drinking 5 bottles of wine, we've made it. Until next Thursday, later.